Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Thank you.
I love New Jersey, and I'm thrilled to be back right here in the Garden State. The Garden State. Together we're achieving historic victories for New Jersey families. You see it every single day. The New Jersey unemployment rate has reached the lowest of all time. More people are working today in the state of New Jersey than ever before. And I have to tell you, more people, almost 160 million, are working right now in the United States. That's the highest level of employment in the history of our country. And a lot of countries aren't doing so well, just so you understand. Tomorrow we will replace the NAFTA nightmare, one of the worst trade deals ever in history, with the incredible brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA, a massive win for New Jersey workers, New Jersey farmers, New Jersey union people, New Jersey manufacturers, and everybody. And weeks ago, we also signed a fantastic new trade agreement with China that will boost New Jersey exports and defend New Jersey jobs. $250 billion coming in. Oh, that's going to be so nice. And we're restoring America's industrial might like never before. They're all coming back. They want to be where the action is. After years of devastating defense cuts, we have fully rebuilt the United States military. And thanks to the incredible courage of our warriors, the greatest warriors in the world, the ISIS caliphate has been totally destroyed, and its savage founder and leader, al-Baghdadi, is dead. Weeks ago, at my direction, the U.S. military launched a flawless precision strike that killed the world's #1 terrorist, Qasem Soleimani. And Soleimani was responsible for murdering and wounding thousands of Americans and actively planning new attacks, but we stopped him cold. Yet Washington Democrats like crazy Bernie Sanders and nervous Nancy Pelosi, they opposed our action to save American lives. They oppose it. They oppose it. You know the roadside bombs that you see hurting our people and lots of other people so badly? The legs, the arms wiped out. No legs, no arms. Soleimani loved that. That was his weapon of choice. We didn't like him. He's not around anymore. While we are creating jobs and killing terrorists, the congressional Democrats are obsessed with demented hoaxes, crazy witch hunts, and deranged partisan crusades. It's all they know how to do. The do-nothing Democrats. They have spent the last 3 years, and probably even before I came down on that beautiful escalator with our beautiful future First Lady, trying to overthrow the last election, and we will make sure that they face another crushing defeat in the next election. We are going to have a victory that's even greater than 2016. This November, we are going to win back the House. We are going to hold the Senate, and we are going to keep the White House. The American people are disgusted by the Washington Democrat and you see it. You see it. Which is worse, the impeachment hoax or the witch hunts from Russia? But we're going to be signing up millions and millions of registered independents, Democrat voters, and today I had the best polls that I've ever had since being elected. The best we've ever had. Remember, I used to go over polls, but I only used to talk about them when I was doing well. Otherwise, we had our best polls. Americans of all political beliefs are sick and tired of the radical, rage-filled left socialists. I never saw anything. What's going on in this country? What's going on in this country? The Democrat Party is the Socialist Party and maybe worse. Voters are making a mass exodus from that party, and we are welcoming them to the Republican Party with wide open arms. And the Republican Party is doing great. We are privileged to be joined tonight by a courageous leader who left the Democrat Party because he has had enough of their extremism, enough of their socialism, and enough of their vile hoaxes and scams. He's had enough. I'll tell you, he really is. He's a brave guy. He just said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's a hoax. It's a scam. I'm not doing it. And we called him, you're a rock kind of guy. Let's go. And it didn't take much because he believes like we do. We are truly honored to be here with the newest Republican member of the House of Representatives, your great Congressman, Jeff Van Drew. And I have to tell you, a few weeks ago, Jeff was one of the few brave and principled Democrat lawmakers, in all fairness, we've been after him for a long time, who stood up to the House Democrats and the outrageous abuse of power that you see going on right now. They can't win an election, so they're trying to steal an election. It's not happening, folks. It's not happening. And Jeff had the guts to defy the left-wing fanatics in his own party and to stand tall in defense of our Constitution, our freedom, and democracy itself. And I have to tell you, I've gotten to know him really well over the last couple of weeks. He's a great guy. He's a brave guy. He shares our values. He supports lower taxes. Not bad. They want to raise your taxes. How did that work, Jeff? How did you get elected with that one? Less regulation, a strong national defense. He loves our military, loves our vets and police. And he is a tireless champion for the state of New Jersey. He loves your Second Amendment, which is under siege by the Democrats. Jeff, it's an honor to be with you. Please.
Now, how about having the president right here in South Jersey? What a great day! Now, I heard that the folks in this room can make more noise and more applause than anywhere in the world. So we're going to do one more time for this man right here. Now, when I was in the White House with the president, he asked how he could help me. I asked if he could come down to South Jersey and have a rally. Without even hesitating, our president said yes, and he is here, a man who kept his word to ensure that the eyes of the world are on South Jersey and all of us. The USA is a great nation, the greatest nation that civilization has ever known. Do we want to keep it that way? It's a nation and a people of great exceptionalism. Do we want to keep it that way? Our president has made it clear by restoring our military, protecting our economy, and by not allowing any other nation to ever take advantage of us again. Do we want to keep it that way? This very year, is a flashpoint election. Are we going to allow ourselves just to be like any other nation in the world? Or are we going to keep America great? I say to all of you, may God bless South Jersey, may God bless our president, and may God bless the United States of America.
So, we have tens of thousands of people outside. If anybody would like to give them your place, please let us know. But we have thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, and Jeff gave me a number. He said 175,000 people signed up. Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
175? I think he's on his way. Thank you, Jeff. Great job. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. So it's been a little bit of a story. You see the fakers back there? Fake news. You know, if another candidate has 1,000 people, they say he spoke to a massive crowd. If they have 10,000, like Pocahontas went into Central Park in New York, and this young man in the front row could have 10,000 people, you know that, in Central Park. So she had 10,000 people, like in Central Park. And I said, what's the big deal? They made it, the crowds are so large. So Jeff just told you had 175,000 people sign up. And seriously, you have to see outside. They know because they have to follow. They're trailers. I call them trailers. But they're fake. They're fake. They're not honest. Let me just tell you. So here's the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence.
She stood in the street, smiling from my head to her feet. I said, hey, what is this? Now, baby, maybe she's in need of a kiss. I said, hey, what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see things the same. Now, don't you wait, hesitate. Let's move.
Well, hello, Oklahoma. To Governor Kevin Stitt, the members of Congress, members of the incredible Trump family, my fellow Americans who've come from near and far, it is great to be back in the Sooner State for a great American comeback. But I need to tell you, I'm here for one reason and one reason only. And that is that Oklahoma and America need 4 more years of President Donald Trump in the White House. It's on, America. And the road to victory starts right here. You know, I'm here because I stand with President Donald Trump. When this president stands up for American jobs and American workers, I stand with President Donald Trump. When this president stands up for faith and family and the American flag, I stand with President Donald Trump. And when this president stands up to the radical left and their socialist agenda, I stand with President Donald Trump. And when our president stands up for law and order and liberty and justice for all, we stand with President Donald Trump. You know, 4 years ago, a movement was born. And it looks like it's doing just fine tonight. It's a movement of everyday Americans from every walk of life. Here in Oklahoma, you believe we could be strong again. You believe we could be prosperous again. You said yes to President Donald Trump in 2016, and I know Oklahoma is going to say yes to 4 more years of President Donald Trump in 2020. You know, the choice in this election couldn't be clearer, and the stakes couldn't be higher. On our side, you've got a president who's done more for this country's economy and military and our constitutional rights than any president in my lifetime. He's delivered 3 years of action, 3 years of results, 3 years of promises made and promises kept. And then you got Joe Biden. I mean, think about the contrast. President Trump cut taxes for working families, small businesses, and family farms. And Joe Biden wants to raise your taxes. President Trump signed more laws cutting federal red tape than any president in American history. And Joe Biden wants to bury our economy under an avalanche of red tape like the Green New Deal. President Trump has stood up to China and put American jobs and American workers first. And Joe Biden wants to go back to economic surrender. Joe Biden will cost America jobs. And by contrast, President Trump created more than 7 million jobs in our first 3 years. And as we open up America again, we've already seen 3 million jobs created in a single month and set a record for retail sales. The great American comeback has begun, and President Trump is leading the way. And when it comes to our national defense, President Trump rebuilt our military. He restored the arsenal of democracy, and this president signed the largest increase in our national defense since the days of Ronald Reagan. Joe Biden and the Democrats, they neglected our military, support budget cutbacks, and ignored threats abroad. You know, under this president, with our renewed strength, we've taken the fight to radical Islamic terrorists on our terms, on their soil. You know, when Joe Biden saw ISIS overrun hard-won ground in Iraq, last year, under this commander-in-chief, American forces captured the last inch of territory of ISIS control, and we took down their leader without one American casualty. And remember when Joe Biden sent pallets of cash to terrorists in Iran? Well, President Trump got us out of the disastrous Iran nuclear deal, and Qasem Soleimani is gone. You know, as the father of a United States Marine, I couldn't be prouder to serve alongside a president who cares so deeply about the men and women of our armed forces. So the choice is clear on jobs, on national security. And this president also knows that national security starts with border security. I mean, Joe Biden supports open borders. President Trump is already building that wall on the southern border of the United States. Oh, we're building it. You'll see. And this president, from the first day of this administration, has stood for law and order and stood with the incredible men and women of law enforcement at every level. You know, the American people know that most of those who serve in the uniform of law enforcement are the best people in America. It's true. And we all know what happened to George Floyd was a tragedy that shocked the conscience of the nation, and justice will be served. There's no excuse for what happened to George Floyd, but there's also no excuse for the rioting, looting, and violence that followed. When rioters were destroying property in cities across the country, Joe Biden issued a press release. President Donald Trump sent in the National Guard. He secured our nation's capital and called on every governor in America to do the same. And in the days that followed, you saw it. We quelled the violence. And since then, we've been working with law enforcement and leaders in our African American community to improve public safety and improve the lives of our African American neighbors. We're listening. We're learning. We're leading. And we'll find ways to move forward together. But one thing we're not going to do, we're not going to defund the police. Not now, not ever. And when it comes to the rule of law, Joe Biden is making plans to appoint activist judges who will legislate from the bench. But next week, President Trump will appoint his 200th judge to our federal courts. And they're all conservative jurists who are upholding the God-given liberties enshrined in our Constitution, like the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, and the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. And with 4 more years, this president will appoint